Alrighty, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of Trucker's Sunday Report. Good morning, yes sirree, Bob. I got that lovely hairdo going because it's early and it's morning. Although you guys are watching this at noon, I've gotten up early to do it. Gotta love that coffee. Alright, so let's start things off on a real sour note. Not really, but I just want to quickly touch on last week's video. My gosh, I cannot believe the amount of thin-skinned people out there. And then they blame me. They didn't take any acceptance for their own thin skin. They tried to claim, "Oh no, I got thick skin." Well, if you got thick skin, why are you being offended by a news story that I'm reading or reporting? It just baffles me. Okay, so let's touch on quick on one portion of it, which is the guns. Okay, because that was the title of it, and the shooting. And okay, I made comment that this is why guns should not be allowed because there's too many idiots out there. Okay, and I agree with a couple of people that commented, and they did it nicely. Yes, the responsible ones. I wasn't talking about the responsible ones, but the responsible ones who go through the safety classes, are properly registered, who carry their weapon in a certified container or in a, done properly. However, U.S. is a little different than Canada, but and do everything right, and would only use their weapon in a self-defense situation type deal. But unfortunately, there's too many that wouldn't. Their only answer, and there was another shooting again this week. We're not even going to touch on it because I know it's going to offend some idiot out there. Mind you, I'd say 95% of the idiots that were offended left and unsubbed, so that's good. The rest of you stayed. Thumbs up to you and thank you for not being thin-skinned and being able to, take a little criticism. I mean, come on, for God's sakes, let's get real, people. It's a disgusting story that another trucker representing truckers had to go and shoot a trucker over a road rage incident. I mean, plain and simple. But whatever, we're not going to get into that because it's just going to get me angry again, and I'm going to probably say something that might offend somebody, God forbid. Okay? Now, I apologize that maybe I didn't say things the way they should have been, but I'm not going to apologize because I'm not politically correct. I never have been and never will be. I'm not going to sit here and worry about your little sensitivities and how thin your skin is, and if it bothers you that I say boo. I mean, come on, let's get real. All right, the other note, this Constitution thing and the other portion of the video. You know what, guys? Really, get a life. It was all about that individual. I don't give a flying rat's ass about what constitutional rights you Americans, and I'm not saying this to offend anyone, but I'm sure I'm going to, and someone will mention it in the comments below. I'm not concerned in the slightest bit about your rights. We have rights as Canadians too, okay? And they're almost identical to yours. So stop attacking Canada thinking that we still live in fucking igloos and drive dog sleds, because we don't. We drive the same fucking crap that you people do down in USA. So, anyway, whatever. The story was about what a dickhead some drivers are, thinking they know the law. I don't give a rat's ass about, oh, it's my right, I don't have to say anything. Well, if you want to be an asshole and a dickhead all your life, you go right the fuck ahead. It's your right to. Whatever. Then you get what you get. So, anyway, we're not going to debate that story anymore. That's it. That's all. Let's move on to something a little nicer. Of course, by now, some people have probably stopped watching and making all kinds of comments about Canadians and our military and how dare I as a Canadian say anything. I know, I'm harping on this, but whatever. Okay, if you're offended by a Canadian saying something about America, then I hope to frickin' God you never watch the news. All right, moving on. I was asked a question this week, and that's what I kind of want to do the rest of this video on, and that's about women in trucking. Okay, so I know my title is Women in Trucking, so a lot of people are probably watching going, well, you haven't talked about it yet. Well, I'm going to now. So, women in trucking, let's talk about, okay, so this year, back in April, last month, was the first Canadian salute to women behind the wheel. Now, women behind the wheel has been around, the association has been around for a number of years down in the U.S. I guess it's been around here too. It's part of Canada and the U.S. However, or U.S. and Canada, because it was started or founded in the U.S. For this particular association, the Women in Trucking Association, um, which was founded by, or is, I believe it was founded by Ellen Voyle. She's the president and CEO of Women in Trucking. Now, I've heard her a number of times on the radio and whatnot, so I believe she's the one that started this. Anyways, hats off to her. Okay, so let me go back. Oh my gosh, can I even find it here now? That's the question. I'm talking with my hands here, just flailing all over the place. Where the heck is it? No, I don't want my e-bill. Here we go. Women in Trucking, etc. Okay, so this particular individual said she never heard me talk about it, but at any rate, is this a good career choice for women? Well, if this is the kind of thing that you like, if you like to be out on the road and you like to kind of set your own schedule and not have somebody looking over your shoulder all the time, although some will debate that because of Qualcomm and blah, 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 the Big Brother theory and all that crap. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. But anyway, they also ask, can they do the job without problems? No different than a man. What do you see women drivers struggling with the most? Well, I think what I see women drivers struggling with the most is safety. I would think safety. Driving is driving. I mean, there should be no difference between a woman being able to handle a truck versus a man handling a truck. As a matter of fact, I've met over the years and recently, because of the truck shows that I've gone to, I've met some women that could outdrive just about anybody. They've got more years behind the wheel than you can shake a stick at, and way more experience than just as many, they have just as much experience as the most experienced man driver. So there's really no difference. It's driving, okay? And they can handle a truck just as easily as a man can. Some way better, to be honest with you. I've seen the way some of these ones come out of the school, and yes, pretty freaking scary. Because the industry is dominated by men, women tend to push a little harder, I think, to do a little better because of that. So you can get, better drivers just because they have that extra drive, if you will. But anyway, yeah, so I think the biggest problem is safety. Yeah, women, my advice is be careful. There are a lot of trolls out here. You hear it on the CB all the time. Anytime you hear a woman's voice come up, they A, automatically assume you're a lot lizard. B, they want to have sex with you immediately without even seeing you. And they're trying to get you to come to their truck and give them a massage or a foot rub. I don't know. I don't know what's up with the pigs, but they're out there. There's lots of us. What can I say? And I referred to us as me included, but that's, really I'm not, but I'm just saying, men in general. From every time I hear on the CB, doesn't matter where you are, that's what happens. The good ones stay quiet, so you never hear from them, but so all we ever hear from is the pigs. Anyway, yeah, so just want to read this out to you. Hold on, Pinocchio. Back on this. Just give me a second. All right, so here you go. Here's the picture of the most recent event here back in April. The salute to women in trucking here in Canada. They say here that with all the women there, they have a combined total of 470 years of experience bundled up there. So, and this is only a small handful. This isn't all the women in Canada. This is just who happen to be able to attend. So, there you go. All right. I'm just looking over here quickly to my thing to make sure I'm on and running and whatever, because I got it on one computer and I got the webcam over here. Anyway, okay. So, let's just read here quickly. There were 42 female commercial drivers, I guess they're all in this photo, who were honored and acknowledged for their efforts and successes as women in the male-dominated career. The drivers had a combined total of 475 years of experience, as I said, although 5 of the women were new to the industry with less than 1 year experience. So, at any rate, women comprise less than 3% of the driver population here in Canada, said Ellen Voyle, Women in Trucking President and CEO. These female professional drivers truly deserve to be honored for their pioneering spirit and their fierce determination to succeed in a very challenging environment. All right, so each year the Women in Trucking Association holds a salute to women behind the wheel in Louisville, Kentucky at the Matt's Trucking Show. That's where I've met a lot of women truck drivers in a group like this. At the Mid-America Truck Show, this was the first time the event was held in Canada. The Sea of Red t-shirts and smiling faces said it all. Saturday's salute, and that was back in April, to women behind the wheel was just what we'd hoped. It would be a celebration of women truck drivers and an opportunity to thank them for their courage and commitment to the industry. So, there's a little bit more, but nothing really overly interesting here. So I'm asked for advice on women in trucking. Well, I'm not a woman, so I can't give you much. I can't give you really anything other than I'm seeing more and more women out there. But I mean, there's one particular individual that I met, Candy Bass. Those of you who listen to Sirius XM radio and the different shows on there will know that name. She's always on. She's been around forever. I mean, this lady's older than dirt. No offense, Candy. Not that you're watching my video, but so, and she knows more about this industry than most people. She's been around that long, and I met several other people. Jan McCarter. She's been driving for a fair amount, also, I believe. And she's the reason I mention her name is because her husband is a lot of you may know him as Bobby Buffet. We'll just mention it that way. He's been around forever too, so sort of a character that's been on Sirius XM. But anyway, we're kind of straying off the topic here. So women in trucking, any of you women out there that are looking for advice or information, there's 2 places that I can tell you to go. Number 1, they have a Facebook page, Women in Trucking. Just type it in and become a member. You can get lots of advice and information there. Another place is womenintrucking.org. Okay. I'll put the link down below and in the description, and go check it out. There's all kinds of stuff there to help you out, whether it be news stories. They have resources like careers, jobs, women in trucking, truck stop directory, mentoring, secrets to success, industry links, contacts, all kinds of different news stuff, different conferences that they're putting together. So there's a large support group for you if you need information or you want to find out more. I'm not the right one to ask for advice when it comes to that. Like I said, I'm not a woman, so as far as the challenges of a woman being on the road, I can't tell you because I'm not a woman. Yeah, so that's about it. We're not going to do this week, guys, YouTube trucker update, just because I don't have anything prepared, and I'm coming up with an idea that of something else that I want to add to our weekly, not necessarily the Sunday report, but do a completely separate one. I'm working on it this week. When it's going to go up, I'm not sure. We're either going to do it on Wednesdays or we'll do it on Saturdays. So all depends on if my idea works and the way I can do it. I'm going to be working on it this week. If I can get it together before Wednesday and put it up, I will. If I can't, it'll be Saturday. So unfortunately, I'll have to wait till then. So we're going to be doing a new segment called YouTube Truckers Report, or something like that. Something in that neighborhood, where we're going to update you on all the different YouTube truckers out there and what's going on in their worlds. Kind of like a not a smut magazine that they have out there where they go after all the celebrities and give you updates on them and make up shit. We're not going to make up shit, but we're going to have a little bit of fun with a few of them and whatnot. Oh, and to touch on the Trucker Josh thing, I got a few messages asking, why am I picking on Trucker Josh? Not picking on him. I was just making fun of him. I mean, let's face it, people. Yes, there's a lot of us that aren't happy with what he did way back when it comes to the dog. But that's over and done with, okay? I don't hold grudges in that sense. What I'm making fun of him is, okay, let's face it, the guy's had a few opportunities that are pretty damn good. And it involves whether it be TV, radio, and stuff like that. He's been in the spotlight. And so I only thought it was appropriate to nickname him Hollywood Josh. I mean, come on. He's got a little bit of extra stardom now than most of us. So he's gone Hollywood. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Hope this week's video didn't politically offend somebody, although I'm sure it did. And we'll talk to you next week, maybe.